Hello again. So just some more DIYs. Thought of putting in a switch to enable the ABS so that it can be switched on and off. It is pretty simple enough. You see the fuse box. It is not like you are going to get the same kind of feeling like you can just switch out the rear one and have the front one activated. But anyways, for the people who do a lot of off-roading, they will recognize that, okay, rear ABS, at least, in some occasions is a bit of a hassle, to be very honest, and it kicks in like going down hill and all. So I think I can do those patches of off-roading much better if the ABS was not there. But anyways, let's get this done. So on the other note, so some work is being done on the RC as well. We'll post the videos on that. I know I keep saying that, but that will be done. And these are the tools that I will be using. So wire, switch, heat shrink, you may or may not, crimp tool, some sockets again, and again some heat shrink, and a tool to just get the wire out of the fuse box, and some zip ties. So let's begin, and before I do that, I'll be very honest, I don't like any switches here, there. So for the time being, I'm doing it. I'll be putting a switch here or here, but eventually I'm thinking at least to move the switch somewhere else, if possible, maybe here. I'll see if that can be done at a later. Now before we begin, you would have to take your tank off. That is simple. I'll post the link in the description. I have done another video on that. Now once you have done that, this is the fuse box, as you can see. Pretty simple. Now these are the ones that we are going to be working on. So you see this 5 volt 5 ampere and this 5 ampere, that is the ABS ECU fuse number 9. Now these are also for ABS, but don't mess with these, just this 5 one. So what we're going to do is simply just take this out, and this is the main wire, the red one. We'll be working on this orange one, and we'll incorporate a connection in this using all of those things, and then get the wire done all the way from here and put a switch here so that we can just switch it off. And when you do that, both the front as well as the rear will be disabled. The ABS will stop working altogether. So let's begin with that. So first thing is to get the fuse out, of course, and that is this 5 one, which says ABS ECU, not the main. Both of these I have tested without all of these fuses, so 25 ampere, 10 ampere and 5 ampere, but yeah, this one gets the job done. We don't want to overload the system. So the fuse is out. I'll put it there. Now we have to get this crimp out. I hope this is clear. Now you can use a needle. I just have this tool to get the crimp out. All you have to do is, there is a black clamp, I hope you can see that, which is attached to the metal crimp, or the connector. So all you have to do is just get something in there. A needle would do the same job, and then push the orange white wire from the back. If it is not coming out, that means that the clamp, you have not attached it correctly. Yeah, here we go. So this is out now. Now from this part, there are 2 ways to go. Either you can make a cut here, just cut this wire so that this part can go back into the fuse box, and you can put in clamps at this end, like this. You have that option. Or what you can do is, so the second way to do it would be just to get a short wire, solder it here, crimp it down and make a clamp like this. Now you're going to be needing these things, so maybe at the hardware store you can buy them. So it originally looked like this. I used a plier and make it thus, so that even if I have to insert it in there, it will fit in the fuse and this will get the job done. I'll connect the wire from this end, I'll connect another wire here, and then from here to here there would be a connection, and that I'll be taking on to the switch. But I don't mind, I can make a cut here. So this is one way to go if you don't want to meddle with the original wiring and if you don't want to cut it. But as I said, I don't mind, I'll be cutting it here, but this is another way to go. So as I said, decided to go with cutting this wire and putting in a clamp here. So I'll be cutting it say somewhere around here, or maybe here. That should do it. So let's cut this. Now I'll be putting a clamp here. So here we go. The wire has been winded and I put a heat shrink, and this is the clamp, and it goes. It's coming out till this point. Now I'll just use the crimp tool and tighten this. So this part is done. Now let's work on the other end, which is that. Next up, we are almost done. So this part can go back into the socket, but before you do that, I'm just going to be using some heat shrink just so there is no corrosion or anything. And if you don't want to use the ABS, if you want to disconnect it at one point, you can just connect it like this, put this one back in, and system is back to normal. So both the ends are done. As you can see, I used two different sized heat shrinks, one here, so that there is no water ingress, and same here, like this and this. Have kept this open so that this can go in here like this. That will take care of it, and this can go back into the fuse box. And I'll be connecting wires on this one with another set of sockets, but let's just put this back in, and that is in. Now let's make a wiring connection all the way from here to the handlebar to mount the switch. For the next part, I'll be mounting this switch on the handlebar because this also has some wire. So before I make some calculations of how much wire I actually need from the fuse box to here, let's just put this back in, and I'll be following the same wiring that I have done for the mobile charger. So switch has been mounted, rest is just following this cable. Like, I'm gonna take it from under these wires, otherwise tank removal might be an issue, leaving this much of clearance. So this is where we are after mounting the switch. These wires come from here, so we need wire coming from all the way there till there. That's less than a meter. Let me calculate that. So yeah, basically this is what I'm thinking. From here till here, these are these points. This is where this will get connected. So I'll just leave this much of margin, that's about 6 inches, and this is the total length that I'll be cutting. This is what we have here. Now I'll be adding these clamps, male female, on one end so that they can go into this one and this one, and on the other end, that is this end, I'll be adding these clamps. So yeah, I'll be adding these clamps on the other end so that they can go into the switch. terminal, which is the exact same size. Let me do this now. I'm gonna go in now, and we're just gonna clamp and then heat shrink that one. You get the point. But yeah, so this end is done. The female point and the male point hidden under this heat shrink. I'm going to leave it open from this end, you can see, so that this can go in there. And again, coating it, red one is the red one, so that this one can be done as well, and that is gonna go in there. So let me do this. Okay, so connecting the wires on this end, this is the black one. Here you go, in the red one. This is in as well. Let's put the fuse back. There's our 5 ampere fuse that is back in, and so these are done. The wire is coming from here, as you can see. Have taken it from under the bracket from here, and then under from this chassis part, and this is where it has come to. So let me mount the other ends. So the red one is done. Now for the black one again. I mean, there is no necessary need. These are not positive or negative, but yeah, just to know, because I've done the same on that end, so I will remember. Another clamp will go here. That should take care of it. This is done. Let's just connect it to these points now. So here we go. I've left enough space. I've not tightened it too much. This should do basically, and this is the red one. The camera is always on the way basically, but yeah, you get the point. And this is the black one, so connected here. Does not matter basically. Would just reverse the on off switch, but I like it this way. So that's done. And that is done as well. That should take care of it. I'm gonna just put this in there. Use a few zip ties maybe. Yeah, that would be a good idea. One should do it. Just gonna put it and this is basically what the setup is. So when this says on, when it is pressed like this, that means the ABS is on, and once I switch it off, it's off. That is how this setup is gonna go, as simple as that. Well, you're gonna need some tools, basically some crimp, male females, those electrical plugs and crimp tool maybe, but they basically it is that simple. And let's put the tank back, and I mean, this was it. Yeah, this was it. And I'll be posting another video of how I have taken these out, and if you see, these do look a bit mismatched because these were again just painted, nothing powder coated or anything, this side as well as that side. So there we are. Yeah, I've still not put the side covers, but the seat and the tank are back on. Connected the fuel gauge cable here, the fuel pump as well as the fuel feed on the other side, and we are done. And this is how it is gonna look. Now honestly, I mean, yeah, okay, maybe it does not look too bad, and yeah, it does work fine. I have ridden the bike. It's just working perfectly. So just in case if you want to do it, this is this might come in handy. And even if you don't have all the shrimp tools and all those, maybe if you go to an electrician or hardware store or any guy who works on the bikes, you can at least guide him that this is what basically needs to be done. It is that simple. Okay, take care, bye.